Hey, it's Diamond Simone, and I'd like to be your go to support for birth, body, and beyond. Whether you're preparing for your first child or your fourth, having a doula offers compassionate, personalized care through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. I believe that every birthing person deserves to feel seen, supported, and powerful during one of life's most transformational journeys. From birth planning and emotional prep to hands on labor support and postpartum wellness, I got you. Visit www.diamondsimone.com to learn more or give support to someone you love because birth is a beginning and you don't have to do it alone.
You are now tuned in to The Soulful Stir with Tash and Diamond Simone.
We are live. Welcome to another episode. What'd you say? Welcome to another episode of The Soulful Stir. I'm Diamond Simone.
And it's me, Tash.
Well, what's good on your radar, Tash?
Oh, man, nothing. Just nothing specific. I'm just out here manifesting. Like, I'm effortlessly in this space, which is crazy because I'm probably in the worst mental state I've ever, well, not ever been in, but I've been in a while. But I am really, when I tell you, I could just think it and it's just happening, good and bad. So I'm trying to purposely and intentionally, like, just kind of recalibrate and make sure that I'm sending the right energy out, because I will have one thought, and whether it's good or bad, it'll carry for the rest of the day. So yeah, I'm really out here in these manifesting streets, which is, I know it's gonna sound kind of corny, but I don't give a damn. But that's one of the things that was on my vision board for this year. I used to be real deep in these streets back in the day, and then like life happened, a lot of grief started happening. Had my kid. I say all of that to say, like, I was shifting different realms spiritually, at a rapid rate. And into some dark spaces too, because a lot of it was surrounding like loss, specifically death, like of a person. So because of that, I think now I'm getting back to it, and I'm more cognizant of what I'm doing, and how I'm doing it, and it's working. So I'm out here in these streets. I'm out here getting what I deserve. I'm leaving here with something.
As you should feel like that. I mean, I like that through every season. Well, I can't say every season of your life because I haven't known you for every season of your life, but the seasons that I've known you and been able to watch you grow, and it seems like you're able to identify and pinpoint exactly what's going on most of the time, and you take your time to navigate it well. So, and when did vision boards become corny?
I mean, I'm not saying it is corny, because clearly I made one and I got it, like, on my dresser where I can see it straight from my bed, all that stuff. I just, it makes, I just say that because, that's just something I hate, like, to feel like I'm talking in cliches. Like I told my therapist the other day, I was like, I really hate, and that's kind of why I chose this sabbatical time, because I was like, I really hate when people placate my feelings. Like, don't tell me like, oh, it'll be okay, just pray about it. I'm like, nah, nigga, I need some logical, real facts. Like, I don't know if that's the Capricorn in me or what, but I need it in black and white. Like, I need to see it on paper. Like, you telling me to do the stuff I already know to do. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always, like, one of my phrases is like, seek wise counsel. Like, I never just go around willy-nilly like talking to people about my feelings and about stuff that I'm dealing with, because I feel like a lot of people don't be equipped to help me with the stuff I have going on. And so I say all of that to say, like, people always say like, oh, well, write it down, make the vision, and it'll happen. Like, yeah, that's true, but you got to do a little bit more than that too. And so I just feel like that's just always the cop out, to be like, oh, I want something in life, I'm just going to put it on this vision board and I'm going to get it. Like, it just seems like, once that became a thing, everybody caught that wave. And I say it's corny because, believe it or not, I grew up making them, like before, you know, social media became a thing and people started talking about it. My great grandmother is an ordained minister, and so is my grandmother. But my great grandmother, they're ordained in the Unity Church, and so it's non-denominational, and she's a metaphysical preacher. So she believes in the word, she believes in the Bible, but she also, you know, it's kind of that nice professional mixture of Christianity and conjure, so to speak. And so, you know,
things are starting to make sense.
Yes. And so because my great grandmother's a can't even get it out, metaphysical preacher, she always taught us to write things down. At the beginning of the year, we always wrote these down, and we did things like around my house, I have like little notes that she's given me over the years where she'll write stuff out. And she'll sign it and do all this stuff. But that's how we grew up. It was like, you know, putting together and writing things down, you know, whether you construct it as a vision board with visual images, or you know, write it down as a list of prayers. It's either way it goes, you're setting this temperature, you're setting the intention of what you want. I just don't believe you can ask for things without having direction. And so because I was raised like that, you know, I was raised with oh no, this is how we're going to speak because this is how things go. I always just laugh when I see people kind of jump on this bandwagon now of it. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I've been out here. So I'll be like, oh, it's kind of corny. Like, I don't be telling people like, oh, yes, I put it on my vision board because really, that ain't your business.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, that ain't
your
business.
But I feel like people that have been doing that for a long time, like, you understand that it's not for everybody. I'm not even big. Like, I've been to vision board parties, but I'm not even big about going to vision board parties and sharing what's on my vision board, because I just feel like it's not for everybody to see and for me to share what I'm manifesting, what I'm working on. I don't feel like that's for everybody. Now, am I saying that you got to be so guarded, like you can't talk about anything that you're working on? You know, no, that's not what I'm saying. But like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a sacred part of, or there's a sacred aspect of having a vision board that right now I feel like it's pretty popular in current, you know, culture, current society, if you will. So I can see why you like, this might be a little corny, but it's a practice. And I will say that I think that the people who you see doing this, who just catching a wave and they're just doing it because their friends are doing it, they don't really understand or even believe the things that they're putting on their vision board. Well,
and then
they might, I feel like they're not consistent in the practice.
I think it goes back to what we talked about in the last episode about this digital aspect of world and content. Like, I can't really see the sincerity in it when you doing it to get views and likes, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, you're what you're supposed to be manifesting, you're supposed to be manifesting it, and we talk about it after, you know, like when people are doing work and who do, you know, you don't show your work until your work is done, you know what I'm saying? Like, your altar space is supposed to be somewhere hidden, like, you know, put away.
Yeah.
It ain't supposed to be open because you know, that's like people tell you even in church, you know, you talk to God about it, you pray about it, and you let him handle it. Because once you start letting too many monitoring spirits and people around you, you don't know what people are trying to do against you, you know what I'm saying? Or just
that's true,
to take away the effectiveness of what you're trying to do. And the thing is what people are missing with the whole manifestation thing is it's a belief, it's faith, it's I have to believe it. So if you're really on the edge and you tiptoeing around your belief, like if you at a 7 on the 1 to 10 scale of belief, and you let a hater know that you trying to level up and they don't want you to, but they on a level 9 of faith and belief and self-confidence, they will pray your shit away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and you really never know when you got billions of people looking at you. Like, I would never just, that's why I think I always go back and forth with like some of my family members about, like, you know, using my situation with my experience with grief, you know, as a platform to help other people. And I'm like, you know, I understand where you're going with that, but I'm as strong as I am, I'm fragile. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm fragile, and I'm so fragile that I'm scared to go to jail. And so I say all of that to say that I watch how other people demonize other people and tear them down for no reason. And I would never get online and just talk about my son and his legacy and losing him, because if somebody say something wrong to me about my son, I will fucking do a background check on you, and I will find where you live, and I will come and I will go to prison after all is said and done. I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mentally there to be okay with, you know what I'm saying, people speaking in a way that I don't agree with in regards to my situation. So that's why when I'm like, people be doing a lot of stuff for content, it's like, okay, that's cool, but you're opening so many doors, and you're starting to see the fallout of it now, though, when you think about it. Like, we had the whole big boom of TikTok during the pandemic and all of that after, and now it's like a go-to. You have all these social media, but if you look at it, some of these big influencers, especially the ones that we may not be aware of because, you know, they not on the same melanin spectrum that we're on, because it'd be a lot of white ones all the time that I see about. But they end up on these true crime stories where they are, you know, doing things to them, like self-harm to themselves or others, because this whole creator and content creator space has gotten them in a nasty mental space. Like, they don't have any balance between my life behind this phone or behind this camera and my life in front of this camera.
That's a good point to make. And I don't watch crime shows, but I can imagine that that's really sad to hear about, and I can imagine that that would cause some strain for people. I have a friend who is an influencer, and she told me, she was like, it gets so overwhelming sometimes, and she's a mother also, and so she's like, you know, everything is content. Like, she never feels like she can turn it off, and that's, for me, that's a very interesting way to live. I don't know if I want to get to that point where I feel like, damn, I can't, like, oh, I gotta do this, like, I think that's why it's also so hard for both of us to, like, be as consistent with, you know, posting on social media from every aspect. Even on my personal page, I will, like, repost some stuff, but I don't post a lot of, like, my own content pictures. I have pictures that I just don't post because I'm very, I feel like we talked about this in another episode. We talked about how we just live our lives in real time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the strain of being on that can come with being on the internet, and also just being intertwined in so many different energies. Yes. So there's a lot to take into consideration. Yeah. I do want to share that I talked about the fact that a couple of weeks ago I had to go through training for doula work. I'm gonna wait to share, like, with the official news of everything that's manifesting right now. But I have been offered a really dope opportunity in alignment with doula work that stemmed from me working with the organization, training with the organization. So all of that to say, new opportunities are on the horizon. I've been connecting the dots with quite a few people, and I've been invited to participate in a health summit, 2 health events. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have more to, like, share at a later date. I do want to jump into the sanctuary scoop just to share some things that we want you guys to do if you're so kind and willing. Follow us on Instagram. Y'all knew it was coming. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We also have a Facebook group that we've started, so we will be inviting some more people to be a part of this group. Be on the lookout for that, and also invite a friend, tag your friends in our post, all of that good stuff. We are expanding, okay? And we need your help in order for us to do that. And engage with our content. Follow us on YouTube, stream on YouTube, and also comment on the videos as well. That works very well for us. Did you have anything you wanted to add for the Sanctuary Scoop, or did I cover everything?
Nope, just follow. Listen.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and slide on over to Mind, Body, and Balance, because I just can't wait to share that I'm back in the gym. Run for your lives. Okay. One for your lives. I feel really good, and I've just been focusing on weight training and low impact cardio because that's what works best for us PCOS girlies. Um, I'm so sore though, like incredibly sore, to the point where I'm like, when is this part gonna wear off? But I think I'm enjoying just the beginning of starting over again, if you will. I think that's the hardest part. That's what's been like the part that's been psyching me out for a minute of okay, we starting over again from ground zero, it seems, with more knowledge and more enlightenment on what to do, not really spinning my wheels on the different things that will work best for my body. So yeah, that's that's really what I want to share for my body and balance. I don't have like any cool facts or anything to share today. Usually I'm coming with
Well,
something random.
I guess I kind of parlayed mine already into the other segment, but because I just
It's a
need
sound
y'all
check.
to understand. No, into tell me something good because I just want people to understand that there should be a balance, like in your life, online, offline, all that other stuff. Be present in your moments. But I will say this too, like, so this is kind of impromptu. I just thought about this. Y'all gotta have some balance, and y'all gotta have a little bit more self-respect because I, since I've been on this sabbatical, I've been trying to stay on TikTok for the sake of the pod. But when I tell you, it's so much over consumption going on that website. Like, we talking about people, the economy is bad. It ain't. The TikTok shop ain't bankrupt, okay? Because the girlies over there, every time I scroll, y'all trying to sell me some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I posted one video about going to Pilates. Next thing I know, every other ad is a home reformer, is this, is this, is this. Like, y'all, it's not about to get my little $43.64.
For the reformer for you to have at home.
It's like a little plastic little
that you like fold up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
I've
fold
seen
up thing. And I was looking at that, I'm like, what? Like, it's just so much. And I will say that too. I think I'm just also salty because I told y'all in a few episodes ago that I bought that Youth to the People face wash because y'all influenced me on TikTok. And I'm just now getting down to the tail end of the bottle. And I'm still real pissed about it. And I just feel like I'm never ever taking recommendations from anything on TikTok again. But I will say that you can trust my recommendations. So make sure you're following me on TikTok because I'll tell you the real about some of these products. Because girl, that I don't like that. That don't make my face clean at all. And so then too, the other day, I've been traveling. I always travel a lot, y'all. It's at this point I don't even consider it travel. Like when people say what last trip you been on, I just be like, I went to Thailand in January. People be like, but you went like 4 different places since then. I'm like, they don't count. Like they wasn't real places.
They definitely were real places
but
where you did real things and spent real money.
Yes, but so when I went to Atlanta, 2 weeks ago, I still have not unpacked this little bag. Like I have, but I haven't. So I did unpack the toiletry bag the other day because clearly I just have to have separate toiletries. And I found a little bitty face wash, like a bottle that I made up. That had my old Dermalogica special cleansing gel in it. And when I tell you I've been scraping out the bottom of that little bitty bottle all week like
let
a
it
crackhead.
go.
So I feel like
You're gonna have to let it go.
maybe tonight I should go to Sephora and go ahead and just like do something about that because this is ghetto. Like the way I'm out here living, trying to keep my skin clear. But yeah.
I really like Korean beauty products.
Yeah.
They work really well for my skin. And I've been seeing some good results, but I like the good molecules too. I'm still using that and in combination with the vitamin C. But I know how it is when you find something and you're like, oh, let me try this viral thing.
Yeah.
And shit don't work. I actually found that I had that experience with trying a perfume that the girls kept swearing this Arabian perfume on TikTok smells so good. And like I got it, sprayed it. I was like, this is not for me.
Which one is it? Because I got one, but I actually like it. But I will say this. I didn't get influenced on TikTok. I'm just smart enough to know that TikTok and ghetto go hand in hand. Just listen to where I'm going here with this. I was in a beauty supply store one day getting some braid hair. And I went to I was in the beauty supply store, and at the counter, they had like all the Arabian perfumes. And I saw a girl buying like 7 of them. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So I smelled it, and I liked one of them. And so I went on TikTok. Like, I didn't buy it there, which I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't buy it there. I went on TikTok, and I saw these people talking about it, because I was like, oh, if it's Arabian, I know they selling it on a TikTok shop. Go on a TikTok shop.
Why was she buying 7 of them though?
Because she bought different scents. Like, it's the one brand, but she bought different, like, of the whatever. And so I went on Amazon and got the same bottle that they were selling for $39.99 for $19. And I got it, and I've been wearing it, and I get a lot of compliments on it, because let me tell you something. They be out here trying to catch the cougar when I wear that.
Well, what is it?
It's called Yara. It's Latafa, but it's it's
pink.
Nope, I got the orange one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Yara. I have Yara. I like that fragrance a lot. This is not the Yara fragrance. This is the powdery. It's like powder. I think it's just called powdery blue or something. I don't know, but it's a powdery blue color, and it's supposed to smell like clean laundry. It doesn't smell like clean laundry to me. It smells like you can smell the powder in it, but it smells like an older lady.
Did you? I feel like we had this conversation not on air, but I feel like we had it, because did I tell you about how and this is going to, if you don't have anything else, this is going to segue into sound check to where I'm going with this. And that's not intentional, but did I ever tell you that I don't like things that smell like baby powder because it makes me feel like a stripper?
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
So, yeah, people that live in Atlanta, or that, like, you know, frequent Atlanta and understand the strip club culture in Atlanta, they'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's something about strippers. And I don't know if it's everywhere, because I don't be going to everybody's strip club, but I have in my life frequented a lot, pretty much all of the strip clubs in the metro Atlanta area.
Well,
frequently, regular. Like, at one point in my life, because, well, in Atlanta, that's just what you do. Like, especially, you know, the baddies go to strip clubs, because let's just keep it 100. You go to the strip club because you sit down, you order your drinks, you don't worry about, dudes aren't hounding you like at a regular nightclub. They looking at ass, titties, naked ladies. They're not looking at me. You know what I'm saying? So I can sit down, I can get some really good food at a really low price, some really strong drinks at a really low price, and hear the latest music, and I can vibe. And I can sit down, because it's going to be seats and it's going to be tables, right?
Points are being made.
So we would go to the strip clubs all the time, like on a regular basis, so much so that the security guards used to know us. But all strippers smell like baby powder. Like, I don't know if it was, you know, I know they're not wearing baby oil, because it's going to create way too much friction and slide on a pole. Like, that doesn't work. So it's clearly baby powder. Like, they will put it on and they smell like powder. And it just, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but whenever I think about something smelling like baby powder, the first thing I think about are like 7-inch platforms, American flag bikini, and bad nipple rings. And I don't know why that's the visual, because that don't even sound like a black stripper, but it definitely is the visual I get every time. I just think of stripper.
What is the visual that you get?
Like, you know, like you wear this, like
I just 7 or 8 inch,
like pleasers, like the platform heels, like the clear ones with the bottom, an American flag bikini, and some real bad nipple rings. Like, I don't know, and like, you know, like red nail polish or something, and like smell like baby powder. It's just a weird visual that I get. But I say that to say, I was thinking the other day. Well, I've thought this before. Long before the other day, but it came to me in the shower again the other day, which, an aside, I know my mama probably gonna be pissed and I'm gonna say this because this is a little bit of her personal business, but I was talking to my mama the other day, and it's funny that you pick up stuff from your parents and you don't even realize it. But I was telling my mama about something. I was like, girl, yeah, I was thinking about something. I was like, I was praying in the shower the other day, and I was like, these thoughts was coming to me, and she was like, you pray in the shower? I was like, girl, she was like, yeah, girl, I pray in the morning when I use the bathroom before I get in the shower. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, I never thought that, you know, like my mama, when she go in the bathroom in the morning, this is what she doing. But that's just something that I naturally started doing as I became an adult. And maybe that's because once you become a parent, the only time you get in the bathroom, only time you get to yourself is in the bathroom, which really ain't true, because I still bust in the bathroom with my mama, and I'm almost 40 years old. So that's a whole nother story. But I say all of that to say, I was in the shower, and I don't know if I was getting ready to go out, like, well, not out, but, you know, just somewhere. And I was taking a shower. And I don't understand for the life of me why people my age, and you know, the late 80s babies, early 90s babies, why there's this obsession with juveniles back that ass up. Hear me out. Hear me out now. Listen, I'm just coming from a real place. I say that to say I am the biggest Juvenile fan ever, okay? So I'm not discrediting the song. I'm just saying that the millennials, when that song came out, that was 1997. We were children, most of us. Those were songs that our parents danced to. So when I, at this age, at 37, almost 38 years old, when I hear a song that make me want to like get out there and turn up, I think about songs from when I was a young adult, not when I was 7 fucking years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about songs that when I was 20, 21. So it's kind of like, I was thinking like, what would those songs be for the millennial era? Like, our parents were in, you know what I'm saying? Their mid to late 20s or early 30s when Back That Ass Up and that stuff came on. It's like, it's kind of weird for me. I was 10, like, okay, cool. When I was 21, 22, 23, the Travis, and once again, I've already addressed this on other episodes, but I'm going to be biased to that early 2000s era of hip hop from Atlanta because I was in my young adulthood at that time. My teen years and young adult years were there. And when I say young adult, I mean under 25, you know, like that era. But that was that Travis Porter era for me. Like for me, when I hear songs like Bring It Back, like Swing Your Hair, Hit a Broke Hole with It. I want to get out on the floor. Like,
that is my
like,
favorite part of that
get
song.
It. Like, yes, Bring It Back, that. And I mean, just all the songs. Okay, now ladies, yeah, you know you bad. Yeah. Like, that's what makes me hype because I was actually an adult and old enough to do the things that they were talking about in those songs at that time. I was old enough to, you know, buy me a drink and, you know what I'm saying, turn up on the dance floor, all that kind of stuff that I couldn't do to Juvenile. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, how did that become just the black rites of passage for twerking?
The black rites of passage.
For all generations. Like, I just don't think that's a generational song. Like, that, to me, even though it's in the late 90s,
what the fuck is that?
A squirrel. Oh. It's a baby squirrel.
Oh, it's 2 of them.
That, to me, I can't see. I gotta wait so you can edit that out.
I'm just like, black people don't like that. You see something out your peripheral just moving real quick, like, what was that? What was that?
But like that, to me, is akin to like, Back That Ass Up to me should be in the same era with like your Uncle Luke's and all of that kind of stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff that my mama was listening to. Like, you know, like we should be talking about like like I said, the Travis Porters, the Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Like, that's our era of twerking and all that other stuff. Like, we wasn't old enough for that other stuff at that point. Like, so it's so weird to me that I just think we gravitated to that and nobody has ever challenged it. Like, nobody has ever said, like, wait, I don't have memories to that. Like, when I think about songs that I was dancing to at parties and all of that other stuff, that's not one of the songs that come up in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about T-Pain, you know what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like when we were really thriving, like as adults.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
and those are the songs.
Back to That Stuff is like, definitely like, everything you just said is spot on. Like, that's for like our parents' era. They were definitely the adults at that time. And granted, like, we ain't had no business listening to that anyway, truth be told.
Like,
but the song was everywhere. I mean,
it was everywhere.
You couldn't turn on the radio and not hear it, you know, whether it be the clean version or not. Like, it's just a thing. So I was, I don't know. Like, I feel like Travis Porter is definitely, they having a good time out there. I'm sorry, y'all. These girls is really going at it.
And I don't. One of the squirrels around here, like they must have just had them recently because I've seen them only for like 3 or 4 days, and they've been just in this little area. Those two
They
squirrels.
must live over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of like what I would say will be the song for this for our millennium, but I feel like Travis Porter. That's a
Or like
good
a
one.
Waka Flocka, like a No Hands, like all of that stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's
no
a different era.
hands.
Yes.
What about swag surfing? Is that
Well,
who sings that?
that's Fly. It's FLY. Swag, but I like swag surf for our generation because it was our time. Like we were in, I was in college, I think, when swag surf came out. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at the year because I be, you know, when you get a little older, your years and stuff start just going together. But I yeah, like that's what I mean by like that kind of song is
Came
that
out in
was 2009.
2009.
So I graduated from college in 2009.
That's crazy. You wanna know what I was doing in 2009? I was in high school in 2009.
So speaking of high school, so my high school era would have been Crime Mob. That was
Nuck If You Bug.
That was
Yeah.
Stiletto, Pumps.
Yeah.
The club.
What
yeah,
about Nuck If You Bug, Walk It Out? Like
Walk It Out was more in college. That was DJ Unk. He was a little bit after that. Nuck If You Buck, I was in high school because we used to listen to that at actual high school pep rallies. Like they used to come to, they were in high school when I was in high school. They're my age, so they would come and perform. They went to the high school. They went to Cedar Grove. I went to Southwest DeKalb. So they were literally went to a high school that was like 5 miles away from my high school. So they would come and perform like all of that.
How cool is that?
Yeah, like we used that whole little era. But you like, even when I'm thinking about college too, I think about like Roscoe Dash, like that sexy girl anthem. Like there's sexy girls all across the world working hard to get that cash. Shine this show anthem. Gonna check out like
I think
that.
up
and down and round and round and round and round she go. Like those were the songs for my age that she call it goat. Shorty, shorty, goat. Shorty, shorty, goat, go.
That sounds great.
Yes, when you play those sons. Atlanta Girls, that was, you know, millennials. Those are the songs that because we were old. Like I said, we were there. We were at them parties and, you know, doing ghetto stuff.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we needed people that were living a life and experiencing all the things. That's a good question, a good point to be made. I do want to talk about something for sound check that I just discovered not too long ago. So I talked about this song that just came out, and now there's a remix to this song, Ecstasy by Sierra. Remember we talked about that briefly? So apparently the remix was released in early June, and I missed this release, but I saw a video of Sierra and Tiana Taylor dancing on Instagram, and I said, let me go listen to this remix because it might, you know, be a nice hit. Now, I really do like that song. I listened to the remix. I've listened to it a few times. I do like the remix. I saved it in my favorites. But when I was looking at the lyrics, because I'm a lyrics person for sure, I listen to everything in a song. I'm listening to the little instruments that people don't typically pick up on or hear. But lyrics are important to me. And most songs, you know, some songs you just, you know, like those songs that you were talking about from that era where you just get a good bop, you know, going, okay, maybe not so much, maybe not into the lyrics so much, but this type of song, I feel like has so much potential and space for them to get super creative on it. And I'm not saying that it wasn't creative, but I just don't really like the lyrics. I feel like surprise, it's not Tash today. It's actually me who doesn't like.
So I was like, you don't like the lyrics? What?
I don't like the lyrics. Like I looked at the lyrics and I was like listening to it, and I'm just like, I feel like they could have done more. And it's Sierra, Tiana Taylor, and Normani that's on this remix. All super talented, right? Like I mean, I love all of those artists, and I feel like they are extremely talented. But when I was looking at the lyrics for this song, I'm like, they had so much. They could have just done more. Like, I would have said something different there. I was looking at the lyrics to see if I like could read them on air, like, but I can't even read it on air because I just don't want to, for one. But then the other thing is, it just would sound weird, like if I was to read it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it anyway. So slow it down and speed it up like a Bugattiati. Talk to you dirty, but I never do you dirty. Oh, I get off that drink and jump on it like these verses.
I'm paused. I'm sorry.
This is the remix.
You're reading it, and the fact that you're reading it, and I'm literally physically across from you, looking at you, but I'm imagining this in Sierra's voice, and I'm highly perturbed. Especially the first line about the Gotti Yachty, like that's so Sierra, and it just really made me upset right now.
My body a platter, come eat me, kitty purring. Yeah, yeah. The way you need it, feed it, beat it, believe that I'ma throw it back, babe. Trust that I'll reciprocate. Baby, baby, put it all in my face. That sloppy toppy, know I'm cocky. Climb up to the top of... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to read that part, but...
I'm like, nah, we gonna get a violation, and I'm good.
I don't know. I just feel like... And I'm no expert, you know... But I feel like I do pretty well with great music and lyrics. In a song like that, like, yes, you want to make it catchy enough for people to be able to follow along, right? It's not a song that is giving in-depth lyrics that makes you critically think, right? It's not that. But I just feel like there's some pockets in that song where I probably would have said something different or like spun it different. I feel like they are all vocally talented enough to do more vocally on the track than what was done without taking away from the original or the production. And I don't think that was done. But again, I still like the song. I'm not too big on the lyrics. I just feel like there's some space for improving it.
So that makes me just like back to something that I think I said the other day. Well, not the other day, but in another episode about certain sides of me are more of a submissive type. And I don't want to use the phrase underhanded because that has a negative connotation. But I want to say I like the
or both handed.
I like the subtlety of certain things. And as bold as I am of a person, I like innuendos in my music. Like I like it, like smooth me over and let me hear it and be like, oh, that was clever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Give me something that make me want to repeat it to a nigga on the phone at 2:00 in the morning.
Exactly.
Like there's
slick,
just like,
and the smoothness of that song, the production alone is beautiful, and the way that the song is structured with Sierra's vocals and the original is really nice. There was so much room for them to do that, for them to throw some slick lines in there and say something like, they talking slick. Oh, that was clever. And I just feel like it just felt jumbled like together. Like, let me hurry up and write something and just kind of like jump on this track real quick. Like, I feel like there could have been more.
And then too, I think, you know, it's always discussed, especially when you're talking about women in this industry. But two, I don't feel like, I don't want her to feel like there's this necessary pressure to be a little bit more sexual in order for her to, you know, re-emerge this career. Like, you can be sexual without being like overly overt about it. And I think, you know, like, let's be clear, Sierra, you got what, 4 or 5 kids? Like, we know you out there getting your bones blown and back blown out by Russell.
She's doing something.
We know you out here is going down. You know what I'm saying? He's passing more than balls. Okay.
Passing more than balls is crazy. That is crazy.
And so because of that, you know, you're a quarterback. So he throw like he's the one who passes the
Yeah.
ball. So he's passed. I mean, he doing a little bit. He doing this big one at the house. Okay, so we know that you know how to make a man do whatever because he keeps wanting more children with you. But you ain't got to tell us on the track because once again, you somebody mama now. Like you ain't got to tell me all that. Just you can tell me. But you ain't got to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel
I don't
like...
mind it, though, because I feel like that gets into the idea of sexual liberation and how moms are seen as less sexual beings once they have children. I feel like in society it's kind of framed around that, like, oh, you had a kid, you're not supposed to be able to express, you know, your desires, or it's a thought of like, oh no, she's a mom, she can't be having sex. Well, she's a mom, so she must be doing something.
Maybe this is a little bit too expressive, but hey, here we are. But I think that's the joy in it to me. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but there's a meme I saw a long time ago, and I highly agree. It was like, I want to marry somebody who's down to bend me over and do it in the closet while my kids is waiting on dinosaur nuggets in the oven. Like, I think the joy of getting older and being a mom and a wife is... I think it brings back that excitement, that childlike excitement where we have to sneak around and, you know, like do this and the kids can't see. So, or we have to say little stuff and the kids can't know what we're talking about. And I think that makes it sexier because that's once we talk, like we talked about before, that's a part of that mental foreplay of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because for whatever reason, I've gotten, like I said, I've been on this TikTok thing for a few weeks now, and I have gotten down these rabbit holes of looking at these wives. Like, it's a TikTok, like a whole little hashtag going around of like, I guess husbands and wives, where the wife will record herself like texting something, like the husband will be doing something with the kids and she'll say something sexual via text and he'll be like, hey, y'all come on in and sit down. Like, he'll literally put the kids in front of the TV, turn a movie on and be like, stay right here. I'm gonna come down for y'all in a minute. Like, and I think that's the joy in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a little twisted and toxic, but I think that's the joy. And once again, too, being married, it's that freedom of like, let's just do this and do it however we see fit. And so that's why I said I like the subtlety of it, because you just got to make it, you know, make it something else and just make it cute and make it fun. Like,
I mean, for sure, there's an aspect of that. But my thing is, or my point was, the way that moms are viewed publicly by society. It's like once you become a mom, you're no longer sexy.
No more.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to even express anything
weird,
about sex. And it's
here.
like, right, but it's like, okay, well, if you're a mom, you're obviously doing something. And I don't think it's anything wrong with Sierra wanting to express herself in a different way, because honestly, it's not the first time that we've seen Sierra get sexy on the track, but this feels different. And I think it may feel different because she is a mom and she has this new layer of womanhood to her, if you will, that is I don't know, it's very it's potent. Like, you can feel her energy like through her music and seeing her on TV and in interviews, things like that. So I don't want to take away that from moms, like that expression, because I think it's important for moms to still be able to have that, and wives, you know, to feel like, if I want to publicly talk about sex and doing whatever with my partner or or partners or have you, then I'm going to do that. And sometimes it comes out in the form of art, and that's just how they choose to express it. I think it's cool.
Well, I don't want to get on my political soapbox, but I think that
But here she goes.
That's all due to fucking white patriarchy. Like, they believe as women, we are supposed to sit back. And I ain't going to say just white, because there's a lot of black men out here who believe in this toxic bullshit too. But people see women as barefoot and pregnant. You supposed to be a wife. You supposed to be, once you become a wife or once you become a mom, you ain't supposed to do shit but have kids and take care of them kids. God forbid you be sexy. God forbid you go and potentially look good enough after you have my kids and I dog you out for another nigga to want you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, don't be sexy. Don't have no sex appeal, because that'd be the first thing. Like, not that I've personally experienced that, but when you see these people talk about it, or you see these things play out in the media and in reality TV, where these men will have these women and it's okay for me to have a lot of kids at home with you, but I'm going to step out on you with somebody who is sexy. And as soon as you try to look sexy like they look, because now they feel inferior because I've made them, I put them on a pedestal and made you feel less than because this is the person who I'm choosing to choose over my family and my wife and my kids. Now, when the wife goes out and try to look sexy too, then they like, oh, you trying to look, you trying to get somebody else's attention? It's like, huh? Like, what you mean? Like,
what are you talking about?
Like, just like if she got your, like, I don't understand that. Or they'll get so upset, like, you know, when women get new men and they, you know, have the stepfather that comes in like a Russell Wilson and Sierra. Like, we watched that in real time where Future tried to dog Sierra because she had a good man who didn't care about her past with Future, who didn't care that she had a son. It was like, oh, I'm gonna take care of him too. And then it became, he was writing songs about how lame Future was, Russell Wilson was, and talking shit about Sierra, trying to make it seem like she still wanted him because he was upset that you dogged this lady and wanted nobody else to want her so she could keep running back to you. And when somebody better than you chose her, now
that's very crazy.
Now you see, you see what I'm saying? Like,
now that you say it and you break it down like that, that is very insane that even happened.
But now when you think about so many situations, publicly. It's true. Like, it's very true where these men get these beautiful women and they want them to have these kids and pretty much lose themselves being a wife and a mother to them, and then they go out here and do something crazy. As soon as you want to go and start getting back in the gym, and it's, oh, you got a nigga at the gym, or you want this because of this, and it's like, God forbid, I just want to look cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to have some self-confidence.
I know a couple women that's happened to, well, actually more than a couple, which is sad, but yeah, that's a real thing. And breaking that timeline down between Sierra and Future is insane to reflect back on, because how embarrassing was that to have to go through that publicly. For one, to have it happen at all is one thing, but to have to go through it publicly. But then the other part about it is, you know, sometimes I believe that when children are involved and children manifest from relationships, sometimes that's the only purpose of that relationship, is for that child to get here. And maybe that's it for that person, right?
Yes.
For those people. And so if things don't work out, it's cool. Like, it's straight. But you should want that person to go on. If they desire to find another partner, you should want them to find a partner that's willing to take care of your child as their own.
Absolutely.
What sense would it make for you not, like, to do that? If that person has your child's best interests at heart, that's an ideal situation.
Yes.
So the audacity, you know, sometimes people don't have nothing but audacity. And some people have audacity and talent, so, you know.
Well, speaking of audacity, I want to slide into Rhythm and Groove, and I just want to propose a question, and I just want to see your take on this. Because I saw this brought up recently, and I just wanted to see how you felt. So what would you do if you saw your friend's man?
What would you do if I told you so?
As soon as I said that, I felt like Aretha Franklin should have walked in here with her little camera. So what would you do if you saw your friend's man? Like, it could be current or ex. And when I say man, I want to say man and use the term loosely, but in this specific example, it was a husband, so an ex-husband. But so what would you do if you saw your friend's man or ex on a dating site?
If I saw my friend's man or my man?
If you saw your friend's man on the dating site.
Oh, I'm telling.
Well, let's take it a step further. What would you do, or how would you feel if, when you noticed that it was your friend's man on this dating site, it was because they had tried to match with you?
Oh, yeah, that's very wild. I'm definitely telling. I'm telling it all, baby. I'm singing like a goddamn canary. Don't do nothing like that around me, because I will tell on you.
What if it was an ex, though? Like, if they're not currently together, like,
still gonna tell.
Officially, that person don't care about the other person. Like, they just moved on.
Still gonna tell, because we're gonna laugh about it. We're gonna have a good kiki about it. I'm such a loyal person.
Yeah.
In general, and especially when it comes to my friends, my family, people that I hold near and dear to me. You will not get by doing some shit like that. Like, you're just not going to do it. Because to me, that's a form of disrespect.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
fact
No,
that
for
you
sure.
even think that you could try me in that way is a disrespect to me, but then it's also a disrespect to my friend.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. So if it's an ex, we're gonna laugh about it. We're gonna have a good little kiki, maybe over a glass of wine or a nice cocktail. Girl, I got something to tell you. That's how it's gonna start. Like, you won't believe. You might even end up in a group chat. Okay, you might end up in a
Not
group
put them
chat.
in a
Now
group
all of
chat.
our friends know. You
Oh
know,
yeah, no, that yes, absolutely.
if she's comfortable with
Me
that,
too.
you know, situation, then all of our friends are gonna know. So yeah, I'm telling. What about you? What would you do?
I would definitely tell because I would feel some type of way. Now I don't know. Well, I guess I would address it with that person. Like with the person that's on the site, like sir or ma'am, like you know what I'm saying, like dog, what are you trying to do? Because this ain't it. And I would definitely block the person because leave me alone. Because that's kind of awkward. Like, especially depending on the degree of level of friendship that you know, you and the actual friend had.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if y'all have been friends for a while and depending on how recent of an ex this person is, it's like at some point I probably hung out with y'all as a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
that makes me uncomfortable because now I'm like, damn, was you checking for me then?
It's just weird.
Like, cause then I feel once again, like you said, then that's disrespectful because if I hung out with y'all as a couple, more than likely I was in a coupleship with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Possibly, and we were hanging out as couples, maybe not. But I just look at it like, damn, so you was checking me out while I was with my person and you was with your person, like. That's kind of disrespectful. Like that's not what's up. But it's kind of weird. And I just think that in today's age, like stuff like that happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? Well, with the whole sliding of the DMs and dating sites and stuff like that. And it's just
like as we're talking through this and you bring this up, I feel like something like this has happened to me before, but I can't remember like the exact situation around it. But I do feel like something like this has happened to me before.
Yeah, it probably has.
And I did like there was no difference, and like I'm definitely gonna tell.
Like I've had like I remember vividly like one of my friends was on a dating site and she saw somebody on there that I had dated before, like not like, you know, recent or nothing. And they didn't like match or anything, but she saw it and like, you know, screenshot it and showed it to me. But we was joking. It was like, oh, look at this lame ass nigga.
Right. It's just funny.
Look, now he's still out here single.
Right. It's just funny, like situations like that.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk about something that's very interesting to me. And it's Kama Sutra. So I feel like I've brought Kama Sutra up in some form in a previous episode. But what's gotten me... Actually, let me back it up. I love me some Shan Boodram. Shan Boodram. She has her own podcast as well called Lovers. And I started listening to her podcast a while ago. Shout out to my friend, my best friend, Janelle, who put me on to Shan. But Shan is so well versed in the spectrums of sex and relationships and dating, and a lot of her content cycles around that. Shan is also Indian, which a lot of people don't know. They just assume that she's like black and white, but she's actually Indian. So all of that to say, she had a guest on that was talking about Kama Sutra and what it actually is. Because what do you think Kama Sutra is?
I mean, isn't it like the tantric sex practice? But it's like, it's more of like the act of like just touching, and I don't know how to say it. I guess like I said, like tantric touch and feel, but it kind of has like a yoga aspect to it. If not, is right? Am I right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
those are some parts of it.
Okay.
Because that's largely what I thought Kama Sutra was too. I thought it was more deeply embedded in sexual practice, and that was it. Because when we see Kama Sutra, we see it depicted as these very creative sex positions.
Yes.
That's typically what you see on the surface. But in fact, Kama Sutra is essentially a way of life. It has to do with much more than sexual pleasure. So when I looked it up, it actually says that Kama Sutra is a guide on the art of living well, the love of nature, or the nature of love, finding partners, maintaining sex life, and other aspects pertaining to pleasure oriented faculties. So it has to do with pleasure, but not just sexual pleasure, pleasure full circle. So you can use these elements of Kama Sutra to apply to your everyday life outside of the bedroom. Now there is the way that it was described when they were talking about it on the pod, and also just based off of what I've read so far, there is some tantric sex practices that are intertwined into that. It's more along the lines of more of a slow way of achieving pleasure or having pleasurable experiences.
Okay.
So there's a lot more touch, a lot more intentionality that goes into the sexual experience. We're not just coming in here to get one off and get out of there.
No,
There's a whole
sure.
setting of the scene, and oftentimes there's a preparing part of it. There's jewelry involved. There's like adornments. And so now let's get into the other part of this. Shan teamed up with the lady that she invited onto her show, and I believe her name is Seema. Seema is also, just incredible. The words that I've heard from her and her expertise on this particular subject and her life experiences that she shared has been like very thought provoking and enriching. So they teamed together and created a jewelry line that's based on Kama Sutra.
What kind of? So hold on. So what are they offering?
So I know, because that sounds like really like
Because first thing I thought about was anal beads, and I'm like,
anal beads. Have you seen Good Boys?
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes.
that movie is hilarious. So no, not sex toys, but actual jewelry, and I'm gonna show it to you. So they have chokers and body. They have this chain, this back chain that like drapes down the body, and waist, not waist beads, but chains.
Oh, okay.
Like they drape off of the hips. Everything was just so beautiful, and yes, I did get something.
That stuff be cute, but I'm like, what are we supposed to do with this?
So,
Cause I don't want to put all that on for like 5 minutes and then take it back off. Like
no,
that's
leave
what
it
I feel
on.
like. I'm not doing all that with that on. Like I can't lay on that. Like I'm a texture person. I wouldn't be like I can't feel that. Like take that off. Like I used to like I didn't like people. Well, I can't say people, but
I love jewelry.
When I was in a relationship years ago, when I was wearing waist beads a lot. When my granddad used to send them to me from Africa, like back before people started wearing them like publicly and shit. I used to be like, don't touch them, like, cause I don't want you to pull them, don't snap them. Like I'm just touch me. Like I don't want all that. Like, and I get it, it's cute. Like you know what I'm saying. I love stuff like that because the visual of it, but like the practicality of it, like nah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Real life niggas be impatient.
And you
ain't about to just mess up my stuff. Because if I pay some top dollar for this and you tear it off because you think it's something that I just ordered from Amazon, I'm going to kill you.
So Shan was talking about experiencing the jewelry with her partner and how she had on the back chain, and she said that they were in a doggy style position, and there was a lot of caressing going on, and it was more of the visual of the chain and the movement of the chain, the flow of everything, her body, the way that she was moving, that was stimulating her partner and turning him on. So much so that at one point she said that the chain got out of place and he moved it back in place. And she was like, oh, like you're really into this, like the whole visual aspect. But back to
that, I think that also depend on your partner. Like, it just takes to knowing your partner to know, like,
what they're into.
And how they're going to react to certain things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. There's earrings, there's necklaces and anklets. I'm just sending this to you so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's a really beautiful collection. They sold out like very quickly. I think they're like pre-order. It says pre-order now on this site. But I think that Kama Sutra is so interesting to me, so much so that I'm like intrigued to know more about it. after hearing the interviews and reading what I've read, I'm definitely going to take a deep dive into learning more about it. So that's what I want to share within the Rhythm and Groove segment. And let's just jump into the delicious dive because I want to share that I tried clams for the first time. Can you believe it?
I mean, no, I can't, but I don't eat no clams, so I don't
No,
know.
I can't, but I don't eat no clams. So
I mean, once you try some oysters, you can come back and talk to me. But I don't know about no clams.
I
Now
did try the oysters. I didn't like them. That's what I was.
now
I was concerned that I was gonna like the clams.
now I do. I have used clam sauce in my spaghetti.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it don't.
Having a clam itself it was a different experience.
No, I'm good on
So I went to my friend's house and I encourage people to do this more. I have a couple of friends that they host dinners at their house every once in a while, and I was invited over for dinner, and I bought something, and they cooked a nice meal. I bought my share, and we just sat down and talked, and we had cocktails and just caught up over dinner and just had a nice time. And clams were a part of the spread, and so my friend asked me, like, did I like clams, and I'm like, no. Because in my mind a clam is like an oyster, and yeah, no, I'm not eating that. I don't like it. Like, that's what I thought. But when I say, you know what, I'm gonna try it because it may be a different experience than what the oysters have been for me, and it was. It actually wasn't too bad. Now, is it something that I would go out and say, oh, I just really want some clams today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not going out and like seeking the clams, but I didn't mind them. Like, if someone was to offer them to me again, I could probably eat a couple, like, one or two.
like one or two.
Yeah, because it's also like a mental thing for me too. So like seeing them, like when you like kind of pop them open and you have to eat them, the way that you do. I don't know. Like it makes me still feel like I'm eating an oyster. So when I put it like in my mouth, I was like, I don't know what this is gonna taste like, but it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all, and it's a bit chewy, too.
Oh nah, I can't do the chewy.
Yeah, it's a little chewy.
Like when I eat calamari, it has to be fried hard. Like if it's not fried hard, where it's not as
like still
chewy,
rubbery.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I actually do. I don't mind calamari. I've had it a few times. It's not as it wasn't as chewy as escargot. Escargot was like the chewiest experience I've had, and I was just like, I'm over this.
Well, you want me to tell you about the truest experience I had since the nigga about to go to prison anyway. So when I was going to prom in high school, I went to Justin's restaurant in Atlanta. Yes, owned by Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Is he going to jail for real?
Yes, he gonna be in jail. They
For
about
how
to get him
long?
for them prostitution charges. Each charge is a max of 10 years. So he could face up to max of 20. He probably ain't gonna do that much, but still. Like I was saying,
I didn't think he was gonna go to jail.
went to prom. They still ain't let him out. He didn't get bail. He got denied.
Did you see his son was doing push-ups outside the courthouse?
Did you see the other son was like on a clip the other day, and he was performing some little corny ass song, and he tried to make his girl twerk in front of the audience to get some hype, and she was like, no, like, and everybody was like, you look like a creep like your dad. Like it was real cringy to
Christian?
watch it. Yeah,
That's the one who was doing push-ups.
one. Yeah, he's mentally
He's very
insane.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, but he also lost his mama too, so I give him a little bit of grace for that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I went to prom. We went to Justin's before prom. That was our little fancy. We was high school kids.
Is Justin still open?
Hell no, they closed that trash a long time ago.
Oh.
But like I was saying, we go. I'm still black. I'm still in high school. So I ordered like something with something and collard greens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know I'm chewing? And I'm like, damn, they left a stem on this green and I'm chewing. And I was like, still ain't going nowhere. I stuck my fingers in my mouth and pulled out a fucking rubber band.
What?
They had left I'm assuming, you clean greens, they had a rubber band on it. So I'm assuming they must have cut them a certain way and didn't take the rubber band off. But it was a fucking, like an industrial size, thick, like cream, manila colored rubber band in my mouth from the greens. I hadn't eaten nothing. Like, it wasn't no bubble gum. Like, we had appetizers, all kind of stuff. So I had been eating. Next thing you know, they brought this meal. Long story short, we got a whole meal for free. Like, we was going to go to prom, but it was super fucking weird because we were with like 3 other couples. You know, you in high school, so we was like 3 other couples. So they were trying to like, and we were kids. We were young, so we was balling on the money our parents gave us. So me and my date got our money free, our food free, because we were on the same little ticket. But then we had like shared advertising for the table. People was mad because they like, damn, now y'all ain't got to pay. We still got to pay because nobody liked their food. But my food was the food with the problem. So we were able to get it free. Wow. But that was the most chewy shit. And ever since, I've never liked chewy stuff because I've always been a texture person. But ever since then, I have this complex of like, and I can't do it. Like it. Yeah,
I have this complex of chewy things.
It was a whole rubber
band.
A
rubber band being in my collard greens.
Like gross.
A rubber band in your collard greens is crazy. Yeah. Because that to me, like, did you even clean these properly?
That was my point. It was like, what? Like, how did we get here? Like, it was so ghetto.
Well,
but don't quote me on this, because crack is crack, and y'all know it got tendencies. But I'm about to stop drinking coffee, which is weird because I just bought a box of K-Cups the other day, so I gotta finish that.
Oh, I'm gonna have that Cafe Bustelo every once in a while.
I gotta finish that, and I need to finish the creamer that I bought with it. Well, that's one of the reasons why. The caffeine is messing with my PCOS, and I was going down a rabbit hole of some research, and one of the things that I've been on this fitness journey recently, and I've been like trying to be intentional about my supplements and all that good stuff. And so one of the things that I thought I was doing right was just get up in the morning, drinking coffee, going to the gym, not having like a processed breakfast or any of that other stuff, and trying to like kind of almost have semi-fasted cardio, but just with a little bit of caffeine to boost my energy. Well, apparently caffeine on an empty stomach, especially coffee, it increases your cortisol.
Yeah,
and the cortisol, it was making you fat and puffy. And now that I think about it, as we know here, I'm an attorney, and all the attorneys in my office, all of us that drink coffee, we got like a little midsection, and it's weird. And when I think about the 1 or 2 attorneys that don't drink coffee, that only drink tea, I'm like, oh, you look a little different. Your face look a little different than mine do. So now I want to try this out for a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. If I stop drinking coffee for like 30, 60 days and I'm doing all my little lymphatic draining and doing all this gym and I don't see no results, I'm back on it, okay? I'm back on it. But as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and just... I'm gonna
own it and in it.
I'm going to jump into the coffee cup. But for right now, I'm going to get off of it because I feel like I just need to... And then I feel like, too, I need to regulate just that caffeine and with my sleep and all this kind of stuff. I'm really trying to get my life together on a large scale, because I'm manifesting and I'm anticipating things popping off, not only with this podcast, but just in life in general. And I want to have the healthy habits already in place, so I don't have to try to create them once I'm already booked and busy. Like, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you brought that up because there's so many people that still spinning their wheels on all the aspects of PCOS, and it's just so many layers to it. It's so much stuff out there now that we're still learning about and growing through, if you will, to figure out how can we best heal ourselves and just manifest greater living in these bodies with this thing called polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah.
And some people, a lot of people, are walking around undiagnosed. And that's the scary part about it because they don't even know if they have it. They just assume that it's normal for them not to have cycles or for them to have some of the symptoms that they have because they've always had it. So, well, cheers to your coffee break. And I hope that it goes well for you once you finish your K-Cups. I like Cafe Bustelo, so if you have any of that in your closet, let me know. Your cabinet. No, I'm kidding. I like Cafe Bustelo, but it's been sitting on my counter for a bit. I just, every once in a while, I just want to taste the coffee. If I'm like really, really tired, then I'll drink it. But for the most part, I actually am a tea drinker. I love a good herbal tea. I'm so much so that I make my own tea blends.
Well, I'm both of them. I am actually I love a hot beverage. Put it that way. That's what I love. I like a hot drink. But the thing is, I think it's the smell of the coffee. It does what it's supposed to do. That stimuli is there. You don't get that same type of thing with tea. And then just, I'm not saying that I don't have it. Like, I got a whole tea set up and situation at home, but at work too, in a law office, literally it's just coffee everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have depositions. I don't bring people to the office and be like, hey, we got some green tea. Though I have green tea in my office, yes. Am I going to offer it to them? Absolutely not. For one, because it's mine. Two, because they don't want that. They want the coffee. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing too. It has become more of a comfort. Like, coffee doesn't give me energy. Like, I could sit here at 11 p.m., drink a cup of coffee, and 11:45 go in my room and sleep like a baby. Okay?
It did nothing.
It don't even do nothing for me no more. Like, literally, you know, I'm assuming that that's what people mean when they say, like, it's a gateway drug. You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily caffeine, but it's kind of like, if I was one of those people, yes, if I one of those people that were chasing down energy, or did not understand that I need to get it from other sources, i.e. sunlight, water, fresh air, you know, just the basic things, I would be in a bad space because coffee don't do it for me no more. Like, I gotta have shots of espresso in it and all kind of stuff. And I think law school just ruined me. That's what I tell people. Like, law school, if it don't do nothing to you, it's gonna ruin your eyesight and your kidneys, because you're gonna do nothing but sit there and read and be on a computer all day and all night, and you're gonna drink copious amounts of coffee. To now, I tell people it's like water. Like, I drink coffee and it's literally like, I'm not saying it, I consider it water. It's like it goes in my body like water. It's like, oh, I need this to survive, but it ain't doing nothing for me. Like, it ain't making me, you know, better, or, I mean, it's making me worse, but it's not making me any better or any worse in the moment. Like, it ain't necessarily quenching my thirst or nothing. It's just a habit. I gotta get up and make me some coffee. And sometimes I don't even drink the whole cup, but I think it's the muscle memory and the act of getting up, making it, and having a few sips, like going on about my day. I just gotta have it. And so after I start replacing it with tea for a few days, I'll get so tired of even dealing with the tea or not getting the fulfillment from it that I do with the coffee that I just won't drink nothing. So we'll see how this goes. I feel like I should journal it like a crackhead, but maybe
you know,
not.
You just got me thinking. And of course, we're not medical doctors. We always say that. But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if you're saying that you were drinking copious amounts of coffee at a point in time in your life, and then did you develop PCOS after that or before?
I had it before.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I didn't go to law school until 2015. I had my fibroids removed. I had a surgery, my very first fibroid surgery in like 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's like, and that's the crazy part. I would drink coffee before I went to law school, but I was working in finance, like I was working in banking, I was doing little stuff, so I would get it here and there. Like, it wasn't one of those things where I just had to have it. Like, I would go to the work sometime in the afternoon, so I definitely wasn't having no coffee. Like, it was just one of those things, if I thought about it, I would do it. If not, it wasn't a big deal. But literally going to law school, the library will have free coffee. We got a coffee shop on campus. We got a Keurig in the study room, so I could bring a K-cup from home and make my own coffee. I could make my coffee. Like, it was literally no way around it. Like,
it sounds awful.
Yeah, it was just one of those things you picked up on, and I picked it up. Like, it's weird because I can only remember a handful of like classmates I went to law school with who didn't drink coffee. We used to be in there, like, I used to be my friends used to laugh at me because they used to tell me I used to be in the little study kitchen, like cooking up Bustelo shots like crack. Like, I used to, when we would be studying for final exams and stuff, people would be like, did you bring the coffee? I'd be like, yep. And I'd be making like shots of espresso, like mini shots, and passing them out to my classmates, like, hey, we got the coffee, y'all, here we go. It was bad. And so now
we got the green bean casserole. We got the green bean casserole. That That sounds like a lot. And I didn't really have that type of experience. I don't think I started drinking coffee for real until I started working outside of college. I was pretty, I don't know, pretty well energized, I guess. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Tash, you got anything else you want to add for the people?
Um, no, I don't. I ain't got nothing.
Well, this has been another episode of The Soulful Stir. Over and out.